Aw yeah, back with another video. This time we have a sub 9 2 through 7 relay. So pretty happy about this. It only took like 3 tries filming in the camera to actually get it, but still, I mean, I made it under 8:46 last year, like a little over a year ago. I made a video which was 2 through 7 relay in 9:46. So I beat it by a minute. And that's a pretty decent improvement considering really I cube significantly less now than I did back then. I mean, the only event that I actually solve now is 5x5. This 4x4. I think this is the first, like in this relay, we're pretty much the first times I've solved a 4x4 in quite a few months. Same with 3x3, 2x2. I've done a little bit of 6 and 7, but not much. It really was just mostly 5x5. And that is one of the places in this relay that was significantly faster. I mean, this time was a 122. I think last time was a 136 on 5x5, so dropped a few seconds there. And I mean, 136 was pretty bad at the time. 122 is still pretty bad now, so can't really get a decent 5x5 in a relay, I find. But since I've gotten a bit better at 5x5, it doesn't matter. I mean, really, the biggest improvement between these two relays is just a really good 6x6 solve. So the 6x6 solve was around 224, which is the best solve I've done this year. I mean, again, I barely solve 6x6. I've maybe done like an average of 12 in the past few months, but still, that is better than any of the solves that I got there. So it was kind of a miraculous 6x6 solve. Saved 23 seconds over the last relay just on that one alone. It's kind of funny. In the last relay that I did a year ago, I gave a pro tip, which was to start with 7x7 and like work your way down to 2x2. And I did pretty much the opposite here. And the reason is back then, like I was shooting for the sub 10 minutes, and pretty much in order to do that, I needed to nail 7x7 in under 4 minutes and 6x6 in under 3. And I mean, now that's a piece of cake. It would be a pretty bad solve to get 4 minutes on 7x7 or 3 minutes on 6x6. So that didn't matter nearly as much, and I was a lot more consistent on 6 and 7. So it was pretty much just a matter of going and just redoing 2x2, 3x3, 4x4 over and over again until there was finally something under a minute 10 and a minute 8, which is still not great for that portion, but I was like, well, it's good enough, I guess. And I kind of lose track afterwards what's good, what's bad. But the sights that I had in mind was to finish 6x6 in under 5 minutes, and it was 4:56 or something. So I knew I was on pretty good pace, and I got really nervous on 7x7 because I was there in the last attempt as well, which was 113 or which was 913, which was a PB relay, and I made it to finish 6x6 in 5 minutes. So it pretty much came down to like, can I solve a 7x7 in under 4 minutes? And I choked and I wasn't able to do it. So that was a shame. But anyways, I think you guys listening probably don't care too much about my pursuits in the 2 through 7 relay. You're probably wondering, like, what the hell? Why don't you make any puzzles anymore? It's been a long time. You got to get back on the horse. You got to start making puzzles because that's why we subscribed. And unfortunately, I don't really make puzzles anymore. You might be able to tell I am in a different house. I'm no longer a basement dweller. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, every single puzzle that I ever made was made in my parents' basements. Various basements, various different situations, but ultimately they were all done in basements, and I don't live in a basement anymore. I have my own house, and now I'm in the light. I do have a basement. It doesn't really have a floor, but I guess I could I don't know. It's cold down there. I'm not. The point is, I don't really make puzzles anymore. I mostly just draw all the time, pretty much. I mean, it's kind of funny. I mentioned in my last video that one of my goals in life was to draw cats well. And my goodness, have I been pursuing that goal. You can see half of a painting of a cat kind of in the background. Unfortunately, that wasn't in frame, but I'll go up and put a picture here on the screen of like a digital painting I did of a cat recently, made out of gold. So anyways, the cat drawings are coming along. But I mean, the reality is I got a long way to go. You may have noticed that digital painting of the cat was not very good. It's pretty much the equivalent of my puzzle mods. I just kind of blunder my way through it. But I want to do something with competence. Now, I mean, obviously, my drawings, I draw a hell of a lot more than cats. But I do draw probably more cats than any other living thing. But yeah, I really want to pursue some sort of career as an artist. And that's pretty much a full-time pursuit at this point. Like, obviously, I got other stuff going on, but for the most part, in terms of like me making stuff, I generally just do art stuff now. I used to spend all my time, like, I was so obsessed with puzzle making. I mean, for every puzzle that you guys saw as a completed project on this channel, I'd probably go through like 20 different ideas. I mean, that was just what I would think of all the time. That was my default, was just thinking up puzzle mechanisms. I mean, I would design the puzzles pretty much entirely just in my head, without even really making sketches or trying to figure things out in SolidWorks. I mean, I went to SolidWorks to design a puzzle once it was already completely finished in my head. And yeah, that takes a level of obsession, which I'm still a very obsessive person, but now I just kind of obsess about drawing. So it's really hard to switch gears in between drawing and puzzle making, because yeah, I'm just very obsessive. Like, that's what it used to be, what I woke up to. I would wake up in the morning with like visions of puzzles, and when I was sleeping in on the weekends, I would just kind of like lie in bed and think like, oh yes, gonna make a tetrahedron megaminx something, I don't know. Like, those dreams that people have, or at least kind of the stereotypical nightmare where like your teeth are falling out. I would have that, except instead of teeth, it would be like pieces falling out of a puzzle. I would, design this puzzle in my dream. I'm like, it's too epic, no! And then the pieces would start falling out. I'm like, just screaming, and it's just this horrible nightmare. I'm like, it just doesn't work. It doesn't go back together. And then I would wake up. And I would also have dreams where I got a viral video, and I'd be so happy, because that was another thing I was really obsessed with, was having a video with over 100,000 views. And that was kind of a motivation for making puzzles. I really wanted to have that big viral video, because I would have these nightmares where it would succeed, and then I'd wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm a complete loser. But I mean, I have the viral video now, so I don't have to worry about that. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.